If you struggle to feel your feelings in your healing, watch this, because I'm going to explain to you why it's so hard and what you can do about it. So for those of you who don't know me, I'm a survivor of multiple serious childhood traumas, and I'm helping people heal their trauma and break free from their pain, and also awaken spiritually. You know, my healing journey was very long and difficult, and for the last years, I spent most of my time focusing on how to heal from a terrible childhood. And I did a lot of therapy, and I did some coaching, and I did a lot of meditation and a lot of practices. And if there is one thing that was always hard for years, it was to feel my feelings. It's not an easy thing to do. And probably that if you're watching this, you are also struggling with this. So if there is something that is very clear to me, it's that we live in a society that doesn't teach children how to feel their feelings. And maybe most of you have had parents who told you that what you were feeling was not okay, or didn't pay attention to what you were feeling, or told you to not feel it, which is completely crazy, actually. So we live in this world where we have parents telling their kids when they're sad, don't cry. They're teaching them literally how to suppress their feelings. And maybe you had parents like this, and now you're left in your adulthood not knowing what to do, being a victim of your conditioning and not being able to accept what you feel because you've been told you shouldn't feel it. And so when we live and grow up in this kind of dysfunctional environments, where our feelings are never acknowledged, where we never talk about emotions, or when we talk about it, it's always surrounded by conflicts or passive aggressiveness or denial. When you grow up in this kind of environment, you can only reject your feelings. It's just a natural consequence of growing up like this. And it's not your fault. So don't blame yourself and don't be hard on yourself for not being able to cope and feel what you need to feel. There's a kind of responsibility that doesn't belong to you, which is the responsibility of your upbringing. And your parents are responsible for how they treated you, and they are responsible for the harm they've done to you, even if it was unconscious. So that weight that you carry on your shoulders, thinking that you are doing something wrong, that there's something wrong with you because you cannot welcome what you feel, that weight, you can drop it down because it doesn't belong to you. You've been taught to do this. So that's the first thing. Eventually, I hope we will live in a world where all feelings will be accepted, not rejected, not judged. And when we reach that point, society will be very healthy. And I hope it happens in my lifetime. Now, the second thing, why it's so hard to feel your feelings, is because as a kid, when you went through the abuse, you were so alone in this and so left out with your feelings that you started thinking that they are not okay. Or you started thinking that because you don't know how to deal with them, you're going to shut them down and forget about them. And so it's important to remind ourselves that what causes our suffering is not our emotions. It's how we resist and suppress them. What causes pain is to not want to feel the emotions. And maybe that as a kid, because you didn't receive the right support, You started to reject these feelings and judge them. You thought they were bad. You thought they were not okay. You thought it meant something about you. But the thing is, if you take the perspective of the kid, what can you do? It's impossible to deal with this. So give yourself a little bit of grace. Be a little bit kinder to yourself and help your inner child learn again that his emotions are valid and it's okay to have this, to experience this. Whether it's anger, whether it's frustration, grief, hatred, sadness, shame, it's okay, it's valid. You're allowed to feel this. Can you give yourself this permission? Can you relieve yourself from this burden of fighting against your own emotions? And drop the sword, drop the weapons, and surrender. Just make peace with that. It's not easy to do. For me, it took many years and it's still not easy sometimes. So it's really a long process and it depends on people. For some people, it's more easy than others, but for most of us, it's very hard. Now, there's a third reason why you're struggling to feel your feelings, and it's because during the abuse, if you've been abused physically or emotionally, when that happens, we tend to suppress our feelings because we think that they are dangerous. We think unconsciously that if I feel what I feel, I'm going to be rejected. I'm going to be killed for some of us. The way to deal with that is to learn to regulate your nervous system and soothe your brain that is in survival mode. And there are many things that you can do that work very well, whether it's trauma release exercises, bioenergetics, yoga, breath work. And you can do these exercises to learn to hold space for your feelings and teach your body that it's okay to feel again. So the body, because it goes through abuse, starts to freeze, and you're in that state of survival and freeze, and you're like this, you're living your life like this, completely tensed inside. So the way is to release the tension, let go of the tension, and by doing that and relaxing, you allow these feelings to come up. They are not dangerous because the event was in the past. Okay, that's why it's also very important to do this in a kind of presence, in the present moment, and be with them and allow them to come up. And it's just a practice, don't blame yourself for not being able to handle it properly. It's just a practice. You have to practice not resisting your emotions. You see what I'm saying? It's very simple, it's not complex. It's very simple, but we resist a lot. And just give yourself the permission. It's just a simple decision. Just allow yourself, give yourself this permission to just feel that. It's okay, you're safe in this. So these are, I think, the three main reasons why. And now that you know this, you have a bit more clarity and you can start practicing this. And of course, when we struggle like this, it's always easier to have someone to hold space for us. That's why you can reach out to me and I can show you how to do this. And I can hold space for you to process these painful feelings. So don't hesitate. Check the links in the descriptions and feel free to send me a message. We can talk. No pressure, no forcing, and just talk about your situation and give you a few tips. And we can see if we can work together from there. So take care and I'll see you soon. Goodbye.